what's going on? EmOUchihaHime back again for another video, and today I am here for an anime review. Today's review is of the anime series Nobunaga Concerto. This series is really underrated and it definitely deserves a lot more attention than it received. One of the main reasons I feel that this series really suffered was because of the animation style itself. It's not typical of what you would expect in a modern day shonen. And it's definitely different than a lot of the other samurai-related anime series that are currently available, like Sengoku Period or Rurouni Kenshin. In fact, my initial impression of the animation was that it's a love child between South Park and Boondocks. It's really not typical of what you would see in any shonen series that's being produced today. Don't get me wrong, if you can get past the animation and if you're not really picky about that, you may find that this is a really enjoyable series. Nobunaga Concerto is basically about this high schooler named Suburo who is leading on the path of delinquency. He really doesn't care about Japanese history. In fact, he feels that the past is the past and it has no real bearing on his life in the present. He also feels that because it really has no impact on his life, there's no reason for him to learn it. Fast forward a few minutes, and Suburo is on the roof of his high school, balancing on a fence. Suddenly, he loses his balance and begins falling, but instead of falling to his death, he's transported to the Sengoku Period. As he's falling from the sky, he ends up landing in front of, you guessed it, Oda Nobunaga. Oda is on his way out because he is just fed up with his life and he wants to be left alone. And when he finds this stranger, he notices he looks exactly like him. So Oda has this brilliant idea that he's gonna have Suburo pretend to be him, to be his decoy. So he ends up handing him his short sword and tells him that you are now Oda Nobunaga. So that's basically where our story takes off. And it's a really interesting idea for this modern day Japanese high school student to live the life of a really famous historical person. And it's really great to see how he adapts to a situation, because when he first gets there, he thinks the whole thing is a historical drama and he's looking for cameras and he's like, what's going on here? Why does everything look different? And it's great how he grows from that just confused young man to a leader. He really does become Oda Nobunaga, and it's just amazing how he goes about it. And I love how there's a play on the future meaning the past and the past meaning the future. It's really interesting, and I really like how this series was done. Throughout the course of these 10 episodes, we get a lot of content. We get to see the development that Subaru's character goes through from this really confused high schooler to a true leader. In addition to that, we get to see how Oda's forces grow and how his relationships are with not only his retainers, but his own family members. And I love how this series really doesn't focus on all the battles that take place during this time period, but really focuses on the Oda family itself and just how their empire grew and all of the interesting dynamics that take place in a army. That was just a really great story, and I really loved how the story itself was developed. It was really well done, and I definitely think that it deserves a lot more attention. Ultimately, I feel it's the animation style itself that makes it difficult for people to really get involved and engage in this series. But if you can look past that and just really focus in on the story and the development of the characters, I think you'd really enjoy this series, especially if you are a fan of Japanese history, the Sengoku Period in particular. So if I had to give this series a grade, I would probably give it somewhere between a 7.5 to 8 out of 10. The only real reason that I knock it is because of the animation style itself. It's a little bit of a distraction, especially in the first couple of episodes. But once you really get into the storyline, you're hooked. It's just really well done, and it definitely deserves a watch. So those are my thoughts on Nobunaga Concerto. Definitely check it out if you are a fan of Japanese history It's a really wonderfully done story, and I definitely think that it deserves a lot more attention. So that's my review for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have checked out this series, let me know what your thoughts of it in the comment section below. And that's it for today's video. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!